On Saturday, nearly 50 Cape Cod residents gathered in Hyannis to protest the recent detention of Rumeysa Ozturk, a Turkish PhD student studying at Tufts University. Ozturk was detained by plainclothes immigration and customs enforcement agents outside her home in Somerville last week, an incident protesters are describing as an abduction.
The police. Where the police?
Where the police?
Yeah, you don't look like it. Why are you hiding your faces? Why are you hiding your faces?
Protesters say this detention is one of many similar cases happening nationwide, linked to political expression about the conflict in Gaza.
There was a graduate student at Tufts University who is here as a Fulbright scholar, and she apparently wrote or contributed to an op-ed that was critical of Israel and what's going on in Gaza. And apparently the United States revoked her visa without telling her, and then shortly after that they arrested her on the street for being here quote-unquote illegally, even though she didn't know her visa was revoked. And her main sin, according to them, was voicing her opinion in a newspaper op-ed.
ICE detained Ozturk over the cancellation of her visa, allegedly due to her involvement in writing an op-ed in the school's paper criticizing Israel's actions in Gaza, a move activists are calling a violation of freedom of speech.
Our rights in this country are directly linked to the rights of Palestinians that are being trampled in Israel and Palestine. And these two issues are deeply connected, because why people are being stifled in this country when they speak against Palestine is because Israel has influence, and any opinion critical of Israel is harshly suppressed.
In a report from the Associated Press, friends of Rumeysa say she was minimally involved in any of the campus protests last year. One remarked that the only organizing they could remember her doing was a Thanksgiving potluck.
I think it's easy to compartmentalize and categorize people, and we can put her in a box over there because I'm over here and I'm safe. Until someone says you're not a citizen, or until someone says you're doing something that's disruptive to the government, and then suddenly you're going from the frying pan into the fire.
Local activists want to emphasize that this isn't just a distant national issue. It's a personal matter for many on Cape Cod.
So many people we know that are from this area that are affected. I have friends whose family members are in Gaza who they don't know whether they're dead or alive. So it's all, very local. There is no, it's a short line between our rights and the rights of Palestinians.
Federal officials have provided little public justification for the detentions and have reportedly ignored court orders to halt the relocation of detainees. Rumeysa was swiftly moved to an immigrant detention center in Louisiana, complicating her access to legal representation.
I feel like it's a very slippery slope, and no one is actually safe because they're coming at anyone who they consider a threat or anyone who they consider as being counter to their narrative. I'm a writer and I'm an educator, and the thought that people cannot voice their opinion if it somehow disagrees with the US government or President Trump's friends and allies is outrageous, and I think every American should be disgusted by that.
ICE officials have yet to respond directly to specific allegations but cite national security in general statements about recent detentions. Despite risks, Cape Cod residents encourage others to stand up for human rights and freedom of speech.
I think the more people who are out here from all walks of life and all ages, it's going to shift public opinion, it's going to mobilize people, and that's what we need to fight what's happening right now.
Speak up, stand up, resist, because if you don't, you are not going to recognize the country we live in. It will be no different than any other fascist state. It is already becoming one. Please, come out, stand up.
For Cape Media News, I'm Mitch Sock.